Hello Stampin' Friends, this is Jeannie Moss. I'd like to welcome you to my studio here in the Bluegrass state of Kentucky. And today's project is going to be, I'm calling it a column bridge fold because it's got these two columns and it has a bridge across the front. It does fold flat for mailing. So this is what we're going to make today. We're going to be using the Thanks a Bunch stamp set and the Easter Bunny bundle. I know that the Easter Bunny punch is not currently available, but it will be back. However, the bunny that punches would not be all that hard to fussy cut. But these are the two stamp sets we'll be using today. The Thanks a Bunch stamp set is free with a $50 order during celebration, which is January and February this year. You'll need some supplies. This is Granny Apple Green cardstock. It's 5.5 by 8.5, so it's a regular size half sheet. We're going to be scoring it. This is Basic White. It's 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. You'll also need a scrap, a couple of scraps, one for a carrot, extra carrot, and one for the bunny. And then these are two pieces. This is from the Dandy Designs paper, which is also a celebration item. It's free with a $100 order during celebration. These are 5/8 by 5 3/8. So those are the pieces we'll need for this project. The first thing we'll be doing is scoring this piece of Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to bring my Simply Scored board in. I've got it set up already. We're going to score at 1/4 inch. Oops. 1 inch, 1 3/4, and 2.5. So again, that is 1/4 inch, 1 inch, 1 3/4, and 2.5. Then we're going to flip this card around and we're going to score the same measurements on the other end. So 1/4, 1, 1 3/4, and 2.5. And we are finished with that guy. So the next thing, we're going to put this to the side and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping because I need to show you how to do this before we put that all together. We're going to have the piece of white. And what we'll be doing is stamping carrots on that. So I've stamped 2 carrots. I've used the Mango Melody, and I've stamped one this direction, one this direction. I've come down about 2 inches from the top. And then I've added, using this little stamp, I've added the little green toppers of the carrots. So what I did was just took the same Granny Apple Green and the little topper, and I did a couple of Granny Apple Green ones. And then I did one more in Garden Green, a darker one, right down the center. We'll also be stamping one more carrot onto a scrap of paper, and then we'll be fussy cutting that. We'll be cutting that out. And then I've put dimensionals on the back of that carrot, and we'll be popping him up right in the center. Now, I did use this stamp, which is actually to put dimension into this leaf, but I used that, I turned that to the side, and I stamped it in the Granny Apple Green down here to make grass. So this is just going to get attached. Right in the center like that. So we have that piece stamped. I've also taken the Garden Green and the greeting that says "It looks like spring," and I've stamped that onto a strip of Granny Apple Green, and I've stamped it over on the right hand side so we have room for our bunny. The other thing that I have stamped is one of the bunnies, and I've colored him with my blends. So I've put the Granny Apple Green in his eye and the Flirty Flamingo on his ear and his nose. And then I've used this light gray granite for a little bit of shadowing. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. Some shadowing around his belly and his back leg, and so I've done that. And then now I'm just going to punch that out. Like I said, this punch is not available at the moment, but he would not be hard to fussy cut. But the punch is coming back, so if that's something you're interested in, keep an eye out for that, or let me know and I'll keep an eye out for you. So there's our little bunny. Now, we're ready to put this together. I think we have all our pieces. I need my DSP over here. So those are our pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold on all of these score lines, and we're just going to fold all the same direction. All right, so now we'll lay this down. We want to make sure these are going to be folded under really nicely, these two little flaps. Now we'll lay this and we'll fold it so that what you see are two panels and our little flap. That's all you want to see. We want to make sure we get this right because this is going to be the whole fold for our box. So two panels plus the flap. At this point, what we're going to do is to add adhesive to the little flap, and I'm just using my multi-purpose glue. And then I want to tuck that flap under and seal it down. Now make sure when you do this that you still only see two panels here, because if you're seeing three, your card is not going to go together correctly. It's 2 o'clock. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to fold that down and tuck it under. And you want to make sure that this is nice and flat, because we want to make sure our card will go in an envelope. So we want to keep it flat. So now we have two panels. So now you can see as we lift these up, you can see that they're going to have the columns. But let's fold it back down. So we still have the two panels here. And this is where we will add our DSP. So we're going to put adhesive on the DSP, and we're going to put these on the two outer panels. So just center that. Oops. On the two outer panels. And now we're ready to put our carrots in the center of our card. And we want to do all this before we attach our bridge, because once we attach our bridge, we can no longer get to the center of this flat. It'll no longer we'll no longer be able to get this panel in flat, because once we put that bridge on, these are not going to allow us to open them again. Now with our bridge, we're going to attach that to the two panels that have the DSP. So the easiest way for me to do this is to lay these two panels. They both go one direction. It doesn't matter which direction, but they both go the same direction. So you've got one on the outside DSP and one on the inside DSP. Then this will be attached, and it'll only be attached to those panels that have the DSP. So a little bit of adhesive there, and a little bit of adhesive there, and then this will attach right across that. So the only place that gets adhesive are on the 2 panels that have the DSP. And now when we pop it up, we have this cute little bridge, and we're ready to add dimensionals to the back of our bunny and pop him up on the bridge. Now we can still lay this card flat. Oops, excuse me. That was a stamp. So we can still go flat with it so that we can put him on. And it's okay if his tail hangs over a little bit, as long as we fold it flat this way. When we put it in the envelope, it can stick out a little. If you fold it this way, then it might stick out and interfere with the card fitting in the envelope. But there's our card. Again, I'm calling this a column bridge card. So cute little Easter card. I hope you like it. If you have any questions for me, you can reach me at bluegrassstamper@gmail.com. If you'd like to see more of my projects, I have a website, www.bluegrassstamper.com. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.